Hello and welcome to SatTV Week, the news programme for the international satellite industry. In this week's programme, Tricia Jones looks at the latest launch developments, Helen talks to Kel Carlson, President of Sea Launch, Gabby Brogan looks at SES's commitment to the Asia Pacific, and Carrie Ann has the news headlines. But first, Tran & Tran has expanded its aeronautical sales team with the appointment of Henry Bruzalian as Director of Sales. Reporting into Tran & Tran's headquarters in Denmark, Bruzalian will be responsible for strengthening Tran & Tran's partner network and expanding sales in Europe and the Middle East. Now here is Carrie Ann with the news headlines.
Visada Networks is expanding its personnel outsourcing and consultancy operations. In addition to its ongoing position as a provider of skilled and security-cleared personnel in support of its managed networks and customised solutions, the company is now offering technical recruitment and consultancy to its defence sector customers. Craig Harrison, Business Development Manager at Visada Networks, told SatTV, "Our new direction means that not only can we offer highly trained and skilled people to manage Visada network systems at our customers' sites throughout the world, we are also ready to provide our clients with high-quality personnel to fill vital roles that they require." RRSat America Global Communications has announced that it is offering services on its second DVB S2 MCPC platform on Mearsat 3A. The SD-HD video channels on the Mearsat 3A satellites currently reach over 50 million pay-TV households in the Middle East, North Asia, Southeast Asia, Australia, Oceania and parts of Africa.
Thanks Carrie, now here is Tricia with the launch news.
The Optus 10 satellite, being built by Space Systems Loral using an SSL 1300 platform, will be launched in 2013 by an Ariane 5 from the Guiana Space Centre in French Guiana. This latest contract is the 8th common satellite launch contract signed by Arianespace in 2011. It will be the 6th satellite launched by Arianespace for the Australian operator and will weigh about 3,200 kilograms at launch. Fitted with 24 Ku band transponders, it is designed to provide direct TV broadcast, internet connectivity, telephone and data transmission services for Australia and New Zealand. Meanwhile, preparations for Arianespace's second Soyuz mission from French Guiana are moving forward, with the basic 3-stage launcher now taking shape in the MIK integration hall at the Soyuz launch site. This second flight of Soyuz from French Guiana, which is set for December the 16th, will carry a multi-passenger payload composed of French CNES Space Agency's Pleiades optical Earth observation satellite, accompanied by 4 French ELISA microsatellite demonstrators. The future of the ISS has been put on a more secure footing following the successful launch of the Progress 45 cargo spacecraft to the ISS on Sunday from the Baikonur Cosmodrome. Now, a series of flight readiness meetings in the coming weeks will determine if the next manned Soyuz launch, planned for mid-November, can go ahead. The mission would restore the space station crew back to 6 from the present 3 astronauts. A Progress cargo launch failure in August had cast doubts on future missions to the ISS because the upper stage of the Soyuz cargo rocket is similar to that used to carry ISS crews.
Earlier this week, Helen Jameson talked to Kel Carlson, President of Sea Launch, and asked him about the challenges faced in getting Sea Launch back to launch mode.
Well, I would say it was a big team effort to get us where we are today. After we finished our restructuring in the Chapter 11 in October of 2010, we were quickly faced with challenges to get back to an operational stage, and that included hiring back employees, retraining, and then get right back into launch mode. As you know, we had a pretty strict deadline where our target was to launch the first satellite in September of 2011, so that left us less than 11 months. And in that time frame, we actually hit hit every target and every milestone that we were supposed to hit. We got the employees back in. We had a 90% retention rate of former employees with experience from sea launch, and we were able to retrain them and get them ready for launch. We took delivery of hardware in July, and we got ready to launch in September, and everything went according to the book, and we hadn't lost a step. I mean, this was our 31st launch, so it wasn't like we started from scratch. We had a strong experience and strong, with how to do this, of course, having completed 30 launches prior to our restructuring. So, this really took us back into a launch mode, and we performed like we were supposed to perform. And we're very, very pleased and happy to read now that the satellite, the AB7 satellite, has started its operation, and Eutelsat's bringing its customers onto the satellite, and that's very, very good news. And then at the same time, as we were preparing for the sea launch, we were also preparing for a land launch with the launch of the IS-18 satellite from Baikonur. So we had one launch team out to sea and one launch team in Baikonur, and it was great to see the performance from the teams. And I was able to witness personally the launch from Baikonur, and it was a great experience. And that satellite is doing great as well. It was a picture-perfect launch as well as the AB7, and it's great to say that we're now back in business, and we're getting ready for launches starting in 2012 again.
Well, it's certainly great for the industry to have you back. Can you tell us what Sea Launch's manifest is looking like for the coming 12 months?
We have scheduled 3 launches for 2012. We have 2 launches for Intelsat and 1 launch for Eutelsat, and this is largely driven by certain schedules that we needed to do, and also to get our hardware production back ramped back up again. So we have a first quarter Intelsat launch, then we have a second/third quarter Intelsat launch, and then we have a fourth quarter Eutelsat launch. Before that time, right now, we have our platform on its way down to Malaysia for a scheduled dry docking for a classification event for the platform, something that we have to do every 15 years. And this is the 15th year we've had possession of the platform. So that should be completed late December, and we'll have the platform back here in January, and we will then roll right into the next launch campaign with the launch of the IS-19 satellite.
And finally, how would you assess the current state of the launch services sector?
Well, I think we are going into a little bit of a downturn. However, Sea Launches in the restructuring built up a very strong business plan based on having a strong balance sheet. Fully, all the money that were contributed was coming in as equity. We have no debt. And as such, we can withstand a little downturn in the market. However, we are optimistic with our 2 strong customers, Intelsat and Eutelsat, and we're looking now to diversify our customer base. And there's a lot of interest out there in the market for Sea Launch, obviously, given the proven nature of our rocket, the proven nature of our operation, and our great lift capability from the equator, and also the fact that we do dedicated launches. So it's one customer at a time. They get our full and entire attention, and there's no waiting around for a co-passenger. And once we get the satellite, we process it here in the great confines of Long Beach. The customers are able to stay in a western part of the world and process their satellite, and then we set sail for the equator. So we're very excited about the future. We're excited about our capabilities, which we are increasing over time. I think starting from late 2013, we should be able to lift heavier satellites than what we're doing today. And then we're trying to ensure that we meet all the customer expectations out there. So although the market is going into a little bit of a slowdown, we are excited about the future prospects for Sea Launch.
And finally, SES has announced its continued push for growth in the Asia Pacific at the Casbah Convention 2011. Gabby has the full story.
At a media briefing session jointly hosted by SES and Casbar, Glenn Tyndall, Vice President of Sales for SES in Asia Pacific, shared key drivers for the company's growth in the region. SES is committed to extending its coverage of Asia Pacific's growth economies, while continuing to provide established markets in the region with services at the highest level. More than 20 million households in Asia Pacific and India are connected via SES satellites. The company has plans to launch 8 new satellites by 2014 to grow its global satellite fleet and its business. The SES-8 satellite, scheduled for launch in 2013, will provide expansion capacity for the rapidly growing markets in South Asia and Indochina.
That's all for this week. Thanks for watching.